조선의 첫 수소탄 시험 완전 성공.
이번 핵실험에 대해 반드시 상응하는 대가를 치르도록 해야 합니다.
I condemn it unequivocally. I demand the DPRK cease any further nuclear activities and meets its obligations for verifiable denuclearization.
Well, as you just saw in our report, on January 6, South Korea detected a tremor coming from North Korea. It was a man-made earthquake coming from the region that includes North Korea's nuclear test site. And soon came also a North Korean announcement saying that they had just succeeded in hydrogen bomb test. That was North Korea's fourth nuclear test. And we will discuss this new development and its aftermath. And for that, we have in studio Vice President Choi Gang of Asan Institute for Policy Studies. Welcome to the program. Thank you. And also Professor Park Yoon-hee of International Studies at Ewha Women's University. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And Senior Fellow, Research Fellow at the Institute for National Security Strategies, Mr. Kim Kwang-jin. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I'm sure everybody who are watching this development from all around the world have this question in mind about whether this was a real hydrogen bomb or not. And I guess we do not know that yet for sure. But first of all, our viewers who are watching us from overseas, many of them may wonder what hydrogen bomb really is, what kind of weapon this is. We are familiar with atomic bomb that North Korea has tried to test several times. Dr. Choi.
Actually, hydrogen bomb is the next phase of this development of nuclear explosive. Actually, hydrogen bomb uses the fusion bomb as a detonator. Actually, it's much yield higher explosive than maybe 100 times higher than the normal atomic bomb. So they use this fusion bomb as a detonator, and then actually there's a fusion. They use actually the deuterium and also tritium as an explosive device. So it definitely yield a higher explosive than
So
any.
does it actually have an atomic bomb inside this entire
Outside,
body?
actually, inside there's the hydrogen, and then outside actually there's one to yield a high the heat, and then that heat. Usually, atomic bomb use high explosives to have a higher the temperature, but actually this time they use hydrogen bomb use the atomic bomb to boost up the temperature, which it requires to detonate the fusion reaction.
I see. And this is how many times more powerful, did you say? Than
It's 100
atomic
to
bomb?
1,000 times. It depends
For
how.
the given same weight?
Yes.
Okay. So this is definitely a much more powerful weapon we are talking about. And what are the other countries that have any country used this bomb before? Have some countries tested them only, or what happened?
You know, as we
Actual use.
as we understand, we have 8 countries who currently have nuclear capabilities.
Atomic bombs.
Yeah, atomic bombs.
Right.
Out of 8 countries, normally we say that 5 countries, including U.S., Russia, China, France, UK, normally known as nuclear club.
Right.
International community normally recognize them as a kind of legal or justifiable nuclear the state. The other 3 illegal states include India, Pakistan, and Israel. They never joined to the so-called NPT regime. But out of those 8 countries, the 5 atomic bomb havers, they conducted all the hydrogen bomb test. So according to the scientists' analysis, they agreed that it's kind of gradual achievement heading to hydrogen the test based on the previous nuclear test. So according to the record, in case of US and former the Russian case, they took 7 to 8 years or 6 years to reach the full scale of the hydrogen bomb, the capability.
Right,
In
right.
case of the China and France, also according to the record, they need 2 or 3 years to achieve a full scale hydrogen bomb capability.
So are we saying the time gap is narrowing as time goes by?
Yeah, mainly because it was 40s and 50s when U.S. and Russia achieved
Right.
the full-scale nuclear capability.
Right.
In comparison with China and France, they had a little bit later when they achieved the full-scale nuclear capability. So that explained the time gap. And so obviously the other 3 countries, they never tested hydrogen bomb test.
So
So
only
5
one
countries.
country actually detonate the actual atomic bomb is the United States, Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
In the real situation.
In the
right?
real
Right,
situation, but
right.
the atomic bomb, since then, atomic bomb has never been used in any case. So actually, maybe India, Pakistan, Israel, I assume they have atomic bomb, not the hydrogen bomb,
Yes.
since they have never tested the hydrogen explosive yet.
5 countries have.
Only 5 countries have
Okay.
the hydrogen bomb.
Okay. What kind of technology do they need actually to develop hydrogen bomb from atomic bomb? I think Dr. Che has touched upon it a little bit, but if we can explain a little bit further for our audience, what's the step?
Actually, hydrogen bomb is the last nuclear bomb
Right.
after developing the atomic bomb.
Right, right.
As
Dr. Che said.
Dr. Che said, it needs as a detonator a small atomic bomb. That means if North Korea succeeded in, blasting this hydrogen bomb,
Right.
that means that they have a small. They've already miniaturized the atomic bomb.
Right,
because
right,
as a detonator, they need a small, atomic bomb, and then they need also to collect to gain tritium and deuterium as an explosive. These are hydrogens, and as through the process of fusion, it made much more power and more powerful, explosive than the atomic bomb.
Right. So it's not just like one step they have to go up, but several different things they have to do together to make the bomb small, atomic bomb smaller, and then have to come up with new material, and also at the same time the technology about the temperature and everything. So it's a full-scale new kind of development that they have to get into. Okay, then we have to ask this question. What do we know about the question about whether this was a hydrogen bomb or not? What do we have in our hand?
Actually, frankly speaking, we don't know yet because actually it takes time to collect all related information, but actually we have not been able to gather all the required information yet. So for example, after having third nuclear test, it took about 4 to 6 months to gather all the information, analyze it, and then the final conclusion with the third nuclear test was quite successful. So this one requires maybe another 3 to 4 months to collect. Until that point of time, still ambiguity is there.
But on the outside, they said the tremor itself was 5 Richter scale. And they
It's
say
below-
5 Richter scale is much smaller than what we can expect from a hydrogen bomb.
Definitely,
Yes.
actually, because actually this time they say about 4.9 or 4.8 magnitude. So if that was a hydrogen bomb, I think the magnitude would be 5.2 or 5.3. Actually, you say that there's only difference about 0.3 or 0.4, but there's a huge difference.
Right, of course, because it's coming from so far.
Yes,
right,
actually
right.
but I assume, because actually to have a hydrogen bomb test, you need to have a very wide site. Because actually, for
see.
example, all the P5 tested the hydrogen bomb in ocean or desert.
Right.
But North Korea has no such site at all.
Are you saying that the P5 actually tested their hydrogen bombs in open air?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Not underground?
No. In old age, actually, we didn't know much about the side effect. And underground, underground.
Of desert.
Yeah.
Of desert.
Of
The
desert.
United States has done that in the Pacific Ocean, on the island.
The
and
Bikini Island.
Island was gone.
Yes.
Right.
And it was 165 times more powerful than the atomic bomb.
I see. So you're indicating that it's not hydrogen bomb. It's not something they can just test in those kind of Punggye site or something.
Actually,
it has to be something.
Russia has done that in the underground,
I see.
and at the time, the magnitude, the shake was 7.0, so big. You
Big
know.
difference.
Yeah,
big difference. Okay. Are we getting any reports about the United States, for instance, getting helium, detecting helium or hydrogen in the air yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
To my knowledge, no.
Regarding the possibility of the success of the hydrogen bomb test, as the two participants mentioned, outcomes of the hydrogen bomb test, they may give some quite very negative effect to their neighboring countries such as Russia and China. So if the test conducted inside of the underground of the Punggye site is not again wide enough to minimize the side effect to going to China and Russia. Regarding whether the United States, the American government have enough information to identify it was a hydrogen bomb test or not, again, it will take a couple of months. And regarding whether United States, they previously, in advance, they recognized the test or not, since before the test, we assumed that the test was conducted at about 11 o'clock, about 15 to 20 minutes before the test, the dinner consensus plane from the Okinawa, the camp, American, try to test or gather some material from the air.
Sure.
So based on such kind of situation, we assume that probably American government, they may knew before the test in advance. So
interesting. All speculation at this point. However.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Okay.
And usually, hydrogen bomb explosion, does not produce much radioactive materials as atomic bomb. And North Korea also announced that it didn't harm, their test didn't harm the nature or environment. So I don't think we can find some clues for that. But they said that they found some xenon elements in the air, but it is I think the natural or normal normal element.
Then comes the question. If, let's assume that North Korea lied about it, they bluffed about it, and it was not an actually hydrogen bomb test, but why do we have analysts on our side that North Korea might have done that? Why North Korea coming out with this big announcement of hydrogen bomb?
I think the point is not whether the test was a hydrogen bomb test or not. It could be a liar, it could be a complete failure of the test, but the important thing is that somehow eventually they are developing or they are progressing their technological capability.
They're on the way.
Yes, they are on the way to reach a better position and the better goal. And based on the previous 3 nuclear tests, somehow they have a very specific target, finalizing their nuclear status or full-scale nuclear power capability. So. First of all, technically speaking, whether it was a real hydrogen bomb test or not was a critically important. At the same time, in terms of politically or security sense, the real message is they are developing or progressing or proceeding their degree of the nuclear capability or nuclear status. That is the message that we have to catch out.
As Mr. Kim Kwang-jin said, they're just setting their goals and they're saying they're going all the way in terms of nuclear weapons development.
Without any hesitation.
And many scientists and experts are very skeptical whether North Korea has succeeded in in blowing this hydrogen bomb. But they also are not 100% confident that it was not the hydrogen bomb.
That we have to be very clear.
Yes, so and also we are seeing that North Korea is getting closer to the miniaturization of the atomic bomb.
That's another important goal that
they're making it smaller, lighter, and and diversify their
nuclear
warheads. Last time, plutonium test, uranium, and this time they're saying that hydrogen.
Taking steps.
Yes, step by step.
Actually,
very dangerous.
And we've been talking about making whether we're talking about hydrogen bomb or not, we've been talking about making the atomic bomb, or it's it's what do you call it? The size of it is smaller here. So are we saying here at least that is making progress? Whether they actually
I think the miniaturization is on the way, and the efficiency, because we have to wait until we got enough information. But actually, they are making progress in miniaturization. Because for example, last year the Strategic Command of the United States said, "Oh, North Korea has advanced this miniaturization capability. Maybe possible for North Korea to have a small warhead, nuclear warhead, operational."
Dr. Choi, talking about miniaturization. Is that concept important because of the United States? If North Korea wants to hit South Korea, do they need miniaturization?
Of course, actually, for example, Nodong or Musudan or any other, the Taepodong, require a small warhead, maybe below 500 kilograms. That's a weight. So miniaturization is very necessary to put the warhead on any kinds of missile North Korea has nowadays. So actually, I don't know. The next thing we have to see. What kinds of missile program North Korea will advance, whether it's Musudan or Taepodong or SLBM. So it is believed that North Korea can put this nuclear warhead on Nodong missile nowadays. But actually, if they want to have more strategic leverage vis-a-vis Japan and the United States, they need to have a medium-range missile or longer-range missile. That's the exact trajectory. So we have to think. There's on one hand nuclear program, on the other delivery system. That's the missile capability.
Not only the delivery system by the missile system, but also delivery system by the airplane. I mean, in case of the airplane delivery system, the current nuclear weapon that we assume in North Korea is too heavy enough. So too heavy. So according to the scientists, according to their terminology, so-called critical mass.
Right.
So in case of the hydrogen bomb, they don't need a critical mass, which is opposite case in case of traditional nuclear weapon. They need at least 500 or 600 kilograms.
This is atomic bombs.
Yeah, atomic bomb. They need at least somewhere between 5 or 6 kilograms to 1 ton. But in case of the hydrogen bomb, they need a very successfully delivered the device, less than obviously 500 kilograms.
I see. Last point about the bomb itself and the test itself. A lot of analysts seem to be noticing that the sequence leading up to this test was different this time. They're saying usually what happened was that there will be a rocket launch, and then after 2-3 months, there will be a nuclear test every time. But this time, SLBM test, and then after about a few days, hydrogen bomb test, what they called. Mr. Kim Kwang-jun, what do you see there?
Oh yes, that's true.
What's the difference?
In the last 3 tests, they fired before the nuclear test, the long-range missile, and then there was the United, UN Security Council resolution, and then they again, tested the nuclear bomb.
Right.
And this time, of course, they did test the SLBM last month, but it was not a long-range missile. So the regulation, the regular pattern was broken, and then in the last 3 tests, they informed to China and United States that they are having nuclear tests.
Right.
But this time, even in the New Year's address, Kim Jong-un didn't mention even the word of nuclear bomb or nuclear program.
Right.
But a few days later they blew this nuclear bomb. So they just broke the pattern.
That's because North Korea always loves the surprise.
Actually, that's our assumption failure. Actually, we always assume, before nuclear test, there could be a missile test. But actually, that is not necessarily sequencing the problem. They can
try to assume a pattern on North Korean side itself is a mistake.
That's a mistake.
Right?
So actually, for example, last year, North Korea staged, I think, more than 8 times of the missile test. Increase the accuracy and also the actually range. And also in the parade, they showed the modified KN-08.
Right.
The blunt head style, the different one.
Right.
Actually, from the previous one.
But what they show on parade, why does it make any difference? I mean, they can try to make a, just outside of it?
Of course, we cannot verify whether it's really operational or not, but anyhow, the design itself actually advanced one than the previous year.
I see.
So actually, it's a blunt style can stage a smaller nuclear device. So we assumed, actually, we underestimate the design change. So what kind of implication we can draw. When I talk to my American colleagues, they say, there's actual design shows some advancement of North Korea's capability. So we underestimated that. So maybe, that's a fake, a KN-8. But actually, we should not underestimate North Korea's creativity or kinds of the willingness to achieve this capability as far as
we have to move on because of the interest of time. So, Professor Park, everybody's surprised once again. North Korea loves to surprise us, but this time because Kim Jong-un was talking about dialogue and everything in his New Year's statement, and then all of a sudden, a few days later, a nuclear test. We have to ask this question: why? What's your guess? Everyone has to guess here, but
the question is closely related to the last question that you raised. What is the difference? What was the difference?
Once again, they want to surprise us.
Yeah, but also in case of the previous 3 times nuclear tests, as you mentioned, they have a related another test such as long-range missile capability, but. We need to figure out what kind of message they would like to deliver. So sometimes the previous cases, they have more focus delivering their message to US or China, to prepare, another negotiation process or discussion process, etc., etc. But this time, if they don't have any further steps, such as ICBM test or long-range missile test, it means, according to my interpretation, the main message is going to their own domestic audience or their own people.
This time?
Yes, this time celebrating, the very large scale upcoming the People's Party, the convention, and also they are doing quite well without their fathers or grandfather having new leadership. Relatively, their new leader is young, but considering all the factors. Obviously, they have some message outside of North Korea, but the larger focus of the test is, we are strong enough and independent enough, etc. And regarding the question that you raised this time, why they suddenly changed their behavior, even though they never mentioned in their New Year statement. But I paid very special attention one word from the
statement.
Yes, the statement, the first New Year statement, which is they mentioned that they are preparing, according to English term, splendid blueprint. So.
Okay, I remember that.
If I use the Korean, 휘황한 설계도. Very brilliant and splendid blueprint. So,
but that means plan, right?
Yes, but
vision.
The term, according to my understanding, the term they never used before, right?
Blueprint? So, they never used
splendid.
They are using that. That means that they want to make this 7th Party Congress as a kind of turning point. That begins Kim Jong-un era, and of course, this nuclear test, their purpose is that they want to make their nuclear arsenal perfect. Secondly, they want to have a celebrity, a credit for Kim Jong-un for coming 7th Party Congress. And it is really a historical event because the last one was convened in 1980. 1980. Okay. So it's coming after 35 or 6 years later. So very historical event, and they do not have economic successes, accomplishments and external relations. They have nothing to boast at the moment. No credits for Kim Jong-un, new leader for this Party Congress. So they want to blow this, nuclear bomb and to make more credits for Kim Jong-un. And last one is they want to target China. Last year when Kim Jong-un sent his,
entertainment.
Art troupe. Morambong, group, and they just canceled the performance because of this nuclear, utterance, hydrogen bomb.
Are you saying Kim Jong-un's retaliation towards Beijing?
They just want to say, to give a message that they want to take their own way, and not, disturbed by outside forces,
I see.
And his words actually on the paper, as his verse says that let others look up to the North Korean
see.
Workers' Party
I see.
and North Korean socialist system
Right.
because of this hydrogen bomb. That means that that's targets China, not only China but also United States and of course ourselves, but especially China, because within this month that happened. Moranbong art troupe
Right.
canceled the performance because
Such a short
of this.
time in between, right.
Because of this, nuclear problem and also long-range missile, performance. So Kim Jong-un wants to tell China that he
I see.
wants his own way.
We have to ask Professor Dr. Che about this. I mean, 2 points, right? It's driven by domestic, desire, but also there was a component about a message to China. Those 2 points, we have to ask you your view about that.
I agree. Actually,
Really?
I think there may be 60% for domestic purpose, 30% to say China, we will go our own way. You are not my big brother. So it clearly state that. And then 30
Because in the past I was thinking always, most of the times, 3 times, their tests were result of their message, their desire to send a message to the United States.
Yes.
Let's talk.
Oh no, actually,
But this time you're
was
saying
the
this is
point.
different.
Actually, both targeted toward China as well as the United States. We will go our own way. So you have to recognize North Korea as a nuclear power state, regardless whatever you want. Actually, the other point I think that because of this, United States preoccupied with domestic issues like now gun control or the own economy, and
Presidential
also
election.
presidential election,
Right,
and also Middle Eastern crisis.
Yes.
China, because
yes.
of the domestic economic problems, even North Korea staged a nuclear test. These two giants would not do any meaningful or toughest posture
So North
vis-a-vis
Korea
North
had a greater freedom this time.
and also exactly because China wants stable external environment to focus more on domestic issues and social problems. So they anyhow intervene and actually put a block on the U.S. or other Western powers to increase the pressure upon the North Korea. That is exactly happening right now. For example, the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi already mentioned that. So 3 principles: denuclearization, peace and stability, and dialogue. So those are exactly what China has been arguing for the resolution of this issue again. Not
But
the
somehow we
pressing
can't
hard.
help ourselves thinking that China's strategy never evolves. Isn't it always the same?
Always.
Let's talk, stability.
They never changed.
Of course, national national interest remains the same. Of course, that's probably the result of it. But okay, all interesting discussion here. But once again, for the interest of time, we have to cover other issues. Let's look to Korean domestic side, South Korean domestic side. Interesting reports saying that the head of Korea's national intelligence, speaking to the National Assembly, saying that they had no idea. Is this a failure? Is this as an expert on TV, what can we say? Professor Park.
Well, according to the media coverage, not only South Korean government but also Japanese but probably Chinese government, they didn't recognize the test in advance. But U.S. we assume that according to based on the American behavior, we assume that the American government probably know
see.
the test in advance. And
I doubt it, because actually everybody knew from I think around October last year, North Korea is ready to detonate another nuclear test. Only this is a timing. So there's a probability always
Yes.
there. It's a timing. So actually every country failed in predicting the right timing. Not
Yes.
actually there's a probability issue.
by saying failure or not well, I don't say that it is a failure of our intelligence agency, but as Dr. Chen mentioned, the NIS and the Minister of Defense, they continuously mentioned that North Korean regime, they are ready to try another test. They are ready
Right.
to prepare another test, whatever it is. But they failed in choosing specific timing.
I see.
So in that sense, our government, we failed to clearly identify the specific progress.
Then what
program.
happened
But
before? 3 previous tests.
3
Remind
previous
us.
tests.
Actually,
what-
North Korea
announced.
Yes,
in
yes,
advance.
they announced. Yes, they
And also
announced
informed
Okay.
United States
in
and
advance,
China.
and they gave very specific message to China
Right,
and
right,
sometimes to U.S. as well.
Right, right.
So that's why this time their main purpose is giving the message to their domestic people, domestic audience, and also based on the New Year statement, they continuously emphasize the importance of their economic growth.
Right, right.
Kim Jong-un, he mentioned
That-
that over and over they do. He's doing his best to further economic development, etc. So even after the test, a certain group of the the North Korean group people, they may say that they criticizing, using their domestic assets to the military capability. So in that sense, balancing, militarizing North Korean leadership, and
I
simultaneously they are caring their people's economic condition, etc.
I
So
see.
in that sense, I don't think it's kind of sudden change of their behavior. or-
Dr. Che has something to say here.
Yeah, actually, it seems to me that we have to distinguish two types of the intelligence. One is the signal intelligence, the other one human
Right.
intelligence.
Right.
Actually, we must have developed the human intelligence source very much. So SIGINT is quite limited. It's very by looking at the satellite picture, we can say, they are ready. But the timing can be determined by the human intelligence.
I see.
But actually, that's a failure case. So we have to upgrade our human intelligence capability as far as we can to analyze. Second, actually, analysis is the problem. So
I
actually, we always frame this issue from our own perspective, not from North Korean perspective.
Right,
So
right.
maybe we have to put ourselves in North Korean shoes and then think about, if I were Kim Jong-un, what I would do
Right.
under these kinds of things. Actually, the pull out of Moranbong Band last year, maybe starting the beginning of this signal, but we failed to read the signals coming from North Korea.
Right,
So
right.
an analysis is very critical. Having
Always important principle there. Mr. Kim Kwang-jin, maybe you're the perfect person to ask this question. South Korean side has resumed the use of loudspeaker broadcast towards North Korea starting from January 8th. In terms of the North Korean reaction to it, what do we see? We don't seem to see as much of a high level of anger this time, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
exactly.
because they are now in the mood of celebration.
I see.
And then outside world, including us, are very much upset, angry about North Korean nuclear test. So they just don't want to make trouble at the moment. Maybe they will find a good chance, a turning point to do that.
Exactly.
If some defectors, if they flew more, leaflets to North Korea, or if our broadcasting is mentioned about, Kim Jong-un's family, details and problems, or if, United Nations Security Council, announce a resolution
Right.
and tougher, sanction against North Korea, then they will, find this chance to, strike back.
Makes sense.
Yes, exactly. 'Cause
Dr. Che,
this,
United Nations, I'm sorry, I got your point. Very important observation there. Dr. Che, United States UN Security Council resolution, if it's coming, when will that be coming?
we can't tell exactly when
Any
it
timeline?
will coming, and also the timing and the content matters. So actually, it seems to me that, of course, United States is pressing hard China to adopt harsh,
Right.
more harsher, actually, the economic sanction measures vis-a-vis North Korea, including trade sanction and financial sanction. But I don't know what is the exact content of the resolution this time. So actually, if we want to have an early resolution, maybe we have to delete some part and then go for the early resolution. But if you want to have a harsher sanction measures, maybe you have to wait. By my guess, actually, China would block harsher sanction measures vis-a-vis North Korea. They may, why don't you stick to the resolution 2094 again, and maybe this is a triggering point, and maybe you can introduce more individual or the company targeted sanction. But I don't know whether it's possible for us to adopt. But maybe some symbolic trade or financial sanction vis-a-vis some specific number of people or companies.
Right.
That could be the case. But actually, if exactly Mr. Kim Kwang-jin said, actually North Korea will wait until the United Nations Security Council pass the resolution, so they can just say, not only South Korea, but also the international community are actually pressing North Korea hard, and so it is not acceptable for North Korea. We will do our best to protect our national interest or defend the supreme authority.
familiar. Right,
so
right.
they are waiting for the moment of revenge.
Then can North Korea use a Kaesong industrial complex as an excuse to express their anger, to lash out? South Korea is reducing number of people staying there.
Yes.
And all that. So what do you see?
Yes, regarding the options that we may take, and also regarding the options that North Korean region may take, Kaesong Industrial Complex is kind of exceptional case. Could possibly, I mean, they may shut down. You know, still we have there is a possibility of their shutting down of the Kaesong Industrial Complex. But if you think about the case,
happened
yeah,
a
in
few years
2000,
ago,
yeah,
right.
2013 and etc. But kind of invisible agreement or a way of understanding between North and South Koreans regarding, you know, Kaesong Industrial Complex. So it is exceptional case. But simultaneously, we have to think about the way how we are reacting against the last nuclear, you know,
Right.
the hydrogen bomb test,
Right.
sharing American strategic property, you know, such as having
Yeah.
B-50 on the Korean Peninsula,
Right.
and the stronger sanction by the United Nations Security Council, etc. But to solve South Korean people's threat perception or security concern,
Right.
I do understand they are quite, you know, the desirable options, and I do welcoming such kind of old option. But at the same time, the current Park Geun-hye administration's meaningful achievement is having U.S. and China simultaneously to support our North Korea policy and unification policy.
Right.
And, you know, comparing the previous cases, previous administration, that is the very
Trade-off.
unique, you know, achievement of the current administration.
Right.
But we are, without, you know, intention, we are giving some pressure to China to do something. So, you know, they don't have any option, and you know, the not intentionally the option that we are taking,
Right.
undermining China's behavior and China's option, and also I worry about undermining
point.
our
Right.
achievement
Right,
in
right.
terms of Korea-China relation
Right.
that we are very carefully take care of. So all the time we think about the balancing between, you know,
Right.
our. Again, I'm not saying that the current option is not meaningful. I'm not saying that, but
Right.
you know, to care about our South Korean general public's threat and national security concern, I'm welcoming all the options that we are taking.
Right.
But simultaneously, you know, after a certain period of the time, we need more creative options, approaches to continue, you know, having U.S. and China simultaneously supporting our policies toward North Korea.
I'm very
What
skeptical.
could be a creative options then?
But actually, there's about the point about the creative approach of bring the China and the United States to the same point. I'm very skeptical about it.
Why?
China will go its own way
Why?
to protect its own national interest. As we have seen in Cheongnam 2010, they actually sided North Korea, not us. This time they sided.
But wasn't that the old China? A lot of Koreans, South Koreans are hoping for a new China now.
China? It seems to me that China has never changed its policy toward the Korean Peninsula. Peace, stability, dialogue, engagement. That's it. Okay, denuclearization of entire Korean Peninsula, not only North Korea, but also the other part of Korean Peninsula. That's their position. They have never changed their policy. So actually, it's quite difficult for us to bring China on the same page of history with us.
I see.
So China is own set. Actually, I didn't understand. If I were Chinese leaders, I will go exactly the same direction China is taking nowadays, because their interest is to maintain stability around the periphery. If there's a crisis on the Korean Peninsula, first of all, the economy will be affected.
Right.
Second, that will be utilized by the United States, for example, encircling China, having a more secure cooperation among all three countries, US, Korea, Japan.
Right.
That's the fact. But about the Kaesong Industrial Complex, I think that we have to think about this option very seriously. So we are pumping in about $9 million per month. So $9 million. So that's a huge amount of money for
North Korea, yeah.
Actually, for example, 2013, North Korea pulled out their labor from the Kaesong Industrial Complex, but they did not expect that South Korea is going to shut down.
Right.
There was a clear sign that, North Korea doesn't want the Kaesong Industrial Complex to be shut down. So that's our leverage in dealing with North Korea. This time
So
we have to think
leverage is
about
still
very
there?
seriously. So how we can ask the international community to upgrade its sanction measures or introduce more the tougher sanction measures vis-a-vis North Korea while we are doing the things on the Kaesong Industrial Complex. We have 128 companies over there. So if I were U.S. policymaker, I would ask, what are you going to do with your Kaesong Industrial Complex? You are pumping in the $9 million per month.
So there will be pressure
I
to act
think
on
so.
that side.
Actually, we cannot ask the other country to do more on North Korea while we are doing the business as usual. So we have
Wow.
to think about it. So that's why exactly now South Korean government say we are scaling down the presence of personnel because of the safety issue. I think that's a pretext.
I
We
see.
can take next step. We have to think about it.
A very interesting option right there. Yes.
2 points regarding having the Chinese support to our side continuously is skeptical. Yes, I fully agree with Dr. Che. Theoretically, it's skeptical, but let's assume that China have two options. Okay,
Right.
continuing or keeping China-North Korean strategic partnership for their purpose permanently.
Right.
Or fully supporting South Korean policy towards North Korea. Okay, so I totally agree with Dr. Che. There used to be definitely, on the position supporting China, North Korean
Buffer zone.
Yeah, buffer
Yeah,
zone.
right.
But I do understand, according to many China experts and someone, the media coverage and a lot of interpretation,
Right.
they are doing somewhere between the, between the two options, two extreme points. So partly it's up us, and it is up to international community.
I see.
So theoretically skeptical, but in case of making a lot of strategic options,
Right.
we do something having position between the two.
Okay. About the perspective about China, I think we have to probably wrap up this discussion
Okay,
because it could go on for hours here. But clearly, I can see your perspective, South Korea possibly having some leverage about creating new Chinese position, but you're saying always constant right there. So I think we need more time on that debate. But Mr. Kim Kwang-jin, money coming from outside to North Korea, including money that Dr. Che mentioned going through Kaesong Industrial Complex. And also there are other money flows, right? Just like what we saw several years ago in the case of, was it PDA, for instance, right? When that was choked, North Korea really reacted quite significantly. First of all, how important is Kaesong Industrial Complex as a channel for economic device or
Actually, I worked at an insurance company, reinsurance company in North Korea.
Right.
And that was run by Jang Sung-taek. And each year we made 20 million net cash profit, and then gave it as a birthday present gift.
What
to
was
Kim
that?
Jong-il.
That money
20
going
million.
through channels like BDA?
Yeah, sure. We had accounts there, but usually we used better, banks and areas.
So are you saying there are other better channels that United
For
States
sure,
and
for
Korea
sure.
and world community can actually address or push?
There are. Already they made other channels, after Macau incident,
right.
BDA. They tried to escape to Mongolia through, some, former Soviet Union,
Right, yes.
countries. So there are places, they still can find some, safe zones. And for this money, case, our institute earned $20 million each year.
Wow.
Now 90 million a year. More than that, I think 100 million. I think
Right.
that means Kim Jong-un is running 5 of these, reinsurance companies at Kaesong Industrial Complex, and our institution was the best that made and raised these, revolution funds in North Korea. So, Kaesong Industrial Complex is, equaling 5, this very good business,
Right,
companies there. So it's a huge, a very big, industry there.
So that is a very important leverage that United States has now after BDA
We
experience.
ourselves, have that leverage now, and then they are making more money from, mineral sale.
Right.
mainly to China, and also they are sending more, labor
Exactly.
to China and also to Russia. So from these are two main resources of, foreign cash there. So again,
Right,
a
right.
lot of things, depend on Chinese, approach to North Korea and also Russian cooperation for this matter.
So, Dr. Choi, as an option for the world community to press North Korea, can world community actually press on the labor, labor shipment as well?
I think
sending
it's
labor?
possible because since the release of UNCY report, actually we are very much concerned with labor exploitation. So, for example, so we can ask some European countries or Eastern European countries or China or Russia, so to stop using the North Korean labor or stop abusing the North Korean labor. So treat them in a proper way. So we can ask them. But actually there's a transaction, actually exploitation of the labor actually for their own, the government, not for the labor themselves. So it's possible because actually it seems to me the UN is considering to adopt a resolution on this issue very much.
Right.
That's the one cash flow. Actually, this labor is very important, the revenue of earning the capital, because nowadays the price of mineral actually has dropped sharply.
That's true. Right.
So actually, its main source of capital is gone.
Human resource.
Human resource. They actually
Labor.
about it is
Labor
like how many exactly the size of workers working overseas. Exactly, I don't know about 20,000 maybe. Somebody argue maybe 100,000, but there are substantial number of those kind of workers working overseas. So we can actually ask some specific countries stop using those Korean workers because of human rights violation.
I see. Professor Park, so now we have mentioned different options or leverage in reaction to North Korea's nuclear tests, right? Like a labor case, money flows, and even Kaesong Industrial Complex, whole range of different options. We understand that United States, South Korea, and Japan, they've been having meetings of higher level foreign ministry officials, and the level is going up to now soon to be vice minister level coming up. What do you see coming out from those trilateral cooperation?
That I am about to add something. One of the interesting outcomes of after the last test is consolidating the three countries' the policy coordination among the Korea, US, and China, Japan, and also from American perspective, it is an interesting opportunity to consolidate. I mean, we are the perfect in terms of U.S.-Korea alliance. But again, some of the American policymakers, they are worried about China. The Korean policymakers, they may leaning or heading to China. So this is very interesting opportunity to consolidate again their traditional friendship and partnership.
So North Korea is helping United States in that sense.
In one sense, yes. And also regarding China, the Korea-Japan relations as well. According to the media coverage and also Japan expert, they revised and they have new security the defense law last year, and they are having the targeting further steps such as partial change of their constitution, etc., etc. So this could be interesting opportunity to a turning point. But not only that issue, but some again to restore traditional trilateral policy coordination to secure the Korean Peninsula and also to stabilize Northeast Asian region, as a whole. This can be very interesting strategic point and meaningful time.
It's a little bit early to predict the consolidation of trilateral security cooperation.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, because actually, because of what would be the Chinese reaction. First thing, as I think at the vice minister level, they will talk about the issue, what kinds of UN Security Council resolution we want, and how we can coordinate our policies, not actually going into more specific the security cooperation among ourselves. So that could be the next step. But at this point of time, we will be discussing about the UN issue, UN Security Council, what kinds of things we can do, and content, for example, if UN fails to adopt the resolution we want, and what kinds of the sanction measures, unilateral sanction measures we can take, and then how it will affect each other's policy vis-a-vis North Korea. That could be the scenario I can think of right now.
I see.
So we have to wait maybe another couple of weeks to see how this trilateral security cooperation will evolve or change or could be realized.
So according to Professor Park, something would be coming from trilateral cooperation, but
I'm a little
Dr.
bit
Choi
cautious.
says still we need
Yes.
more time
Yes.
to make actual judgment. Mr. Kim Kwang-jin, as the final word for this wonderful panel, we have already run out of time. Just your very short word on what Seoul should do or keep in mind now as the next step following North Korea's forced nuclear test. Any suggestions, any ideas about what we here in Seoul should do?
There are some policies still not touched or not tried. The first one is tougher sanction, secondary boycott of the trade and money transactions with North Korea.
Right.
Maybe we can resort to our lessons from Iran case.
Yes.
Second is targeting the change of Kim Jong-un regime.
I see.
Until now, we didn't try that.
Exactly.
We didn't target it, the Kim Jong-un regime itself, the change of the regime.
Okay.
And the third is military, surgical target, surgical strike.
The building the capability for it, I suppose.
No.
Okay.
Actually, in 1997, I think,
okay.
it was already
Right.
on the table.
We remember that,
But
right.
former President Kim
1994.
Jong-sam,
94,
was
yes,
it that?
right.
He just,
course.
prevented that,
Right.
stopped that because of the war,
Yes.
But I think, we cannot wait until we have this, actual nuclear bomb in Seoul or in this,
see.
region. So that is also the possible, option for us to consider. At what time we should, resort to this
So
kind of measure.
we have to act proactively, you're saying.
But
Yeah,
actually, for
yes,
that purpose, I
exactly.
think we have to change the force procurement program, because actually all major force procurement program has been delayed and delayed. For example,
You're talking about the
the
military modernization. in terms
for
of
example, more
equipment and
specifically,
stuff,
there's
right? Right.
Korea Air and Missile Defense Program or
THAAD.
kill chain. No, I do not mean the THAAD. Actually,
that's
all the-
international, right.
yeah, but actually, all major weapon systems procurement program are located in the last phase of the defense reform. That's about
Right.
2023. We will be having that kind of capability by that point of time. That means, but actually, North Korea will be able to finish its nuclear program in 3 or 4 years. To have the more military options, we have to hasten our force procurement program as far as we can. And actually, another point I'd like to, of course, regime change does not mean the end of North Korea. Actually, we want to have a different leadership, as we have witnessed in other cases. for
Different
example.
leadership, different behavior. and
Yeah,
all that.
exactly.
Right, I see. I think we have, okay, okay, yes, please.
Simply speaking, let me clarify that surgical strikes and Kim Jong-un's regime change is not official option of current government, South
We
Korean
need that
government.
balancing
Okay,
of our
yeah.
discussion here. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And finally, I just simply would like to mention that kind of delivering or giving two messages still available. I mean, it is the main part of the Park Geun-hye administration trust politics, which is enforcing them and do our best to set up or to on the right position
Right.
of North Korean government. Simultaneously try to knock on the door again,
Right.
having allowed of the engagement policy. So having two messages or developing two type of different policy is still available.
I'm sure our viewers all overseas who have joined us from all around the world actually have learned a lot this time from this very productive discussion, carried out by our wonderful panelists. So for that reason, I want to thank our panelists big time. And once again, also, we want to thank our viewers who are watching us from overseas. And certainly, next time you have to join us once again for this program, Upfront. Until then, goodbye.